In the 1960s, one income was enough. A factory worker could buy a house, raise a family, take a vacation, and retire with a pension. That was just normal. Today, that same lifestyle requires two incomes, massive debt, and a lot of luck. So WTF happened to the middle class? The middle class was never just an income bracket. It was a promise. Work hard, play by the rules, and you'll have stability, a home, security for your kids. That promise didn't break overnight. It was quietly dismantled over decades, and most people didn't notice until it was already gone. After World War II, America entered an economic golden age. Unions were strong. Wages rose steadily every year. The government invested in infrastructure, education, and housing. A high school diploma was enough to land a stable, well-paying job. The middle class didn't just survive, it exploded. The top tax rate on the wealthiest Americans was over 90%. That money funded roads, schools, and universities. The gap between the richest and the rest was still large, but it was shrinking. For the first time in history, being average felt like enough. Then came the 1970s. Oil shocks, inflation, stagflation. The economy stopped growing the way it used to. Companies started looking for ways to cut costs, and the first thing they cut was workers. Unions began losing power. Job security started to disappear. In the 1980s, a new economic philosophy took over: trickle-down economics. Cut taxes on the wealthy and corporations, and the benefits will trickle down to everyone else. It sounded logical. The data says it didn't work. Wages for average workers stagnated. Profits went up. The gap started growing again, fast. Three costs destroyed the middle class more than anything else: housing, education, and healthcare. Since 1980, home prices have risen over 400%. College tuition, over 1,000%. Healthcare costs, over 600%. Meanwhile, wages grew by about 40%. The math simply stopped working. A generation ago, you could work your way through college. Today, tuition at a state university costs more per year than a full-time minimum wage job pays. Entire generations started their adult lives with debt so large it shaped every decision they made for the next 20 years. Then, globalization hit. Manufacturing jobs moved overseas, where labor was cheaper. Millions of middle-class factory positions, gone. Then came automation. Machines replaced not just physical labor, but administrative work too. The jobs that remained often paid less, offered fewer benefits, and came with zero security. The gig economy filled the gap, but it's not the same. Driving for an app, freelancing, delivering packages. No pension, no health insurance, no paid leave. Just flexibility, which is another word for insecurity when you can't afford to be sick. The middle class didn't disappear. It got replaced with something that looks similar, but offers none of the same guarantees. Today, the top 1% of Americans own more wealth than the entire bottom 50% combined. The middle class, defined as households earning between 2/3 and double the median income, has shrunk from 61% of adults in 1971 to around 50% today. That's tens of millions of people who slipped out of the middle and mostly went down, not up. And here's the cruelest part. Everything that used to signal middle-class stability, a house, a car, a college degree, now requires you to go into debt to obtain. The symbols of the middle class still exist. The financial foundation underneath them largely does not. You can look middle class and be one emergency away from losing everything. So WTF happened to the middle class? It didn't collapse by accident. It was slowly squeezed by stagnant wages, soaring costs, weakened unions, tax policy, globalization, and a system that increasingly rewards owning things over doing things. The middle class isn't dead, but it needs a lot more than hard work to survive now. Like and subscribe. It's free, unlike everything else.